go. 2020 quarter one wrap up. Going through some of our favorite releases of the year so far. I'm pretty stoked. Really excited.
Same here.
What about you, man?
This is the wrap up.
This has been a pretty awesome year so far, I think, rap wise.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
we should probably introduce
2019
ourselves, huh? Batman, huge rap fan. I know, the people in my inner circle know that, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I give off that vibe always. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes it goes, unless you really get into a conversation with me, you don't know that I'm a huge, huge rap fan. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's cool
and
to
then
have this platform to talk about it.
for sure, yeah, just let people know just how in depth we go. Just with our like normal conversations. It's cool to
Yeah.
actually put it on wax for once. And
Yeah.
then I'm the Duranman. I go by the Duranman.
Duranman.
Catch me on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've always been a hip hop fan, it feels like, since I like really started listening to music seriously. And huge passion of mine. I've written a lot about it in like actual essays and stuff too. Always checking Hip Hop DX, Genius, all the big
Fan
platforms,
since when?
podcasts. Maybe like 2009, 2010.
Yeah. I'm like
Once
0809 around
yeah,
there.
I think it's cool that you and me have so much to talk about, because we like in high school we were into different kinds of like subgenres of rap. I was more of like the 90s rap and underground contemporary stuff, and you were more of like the Young Money, Cash Money kind of crowd.
Yeah,
And so we got like two totally different sides of hip hop, but that same kind of love for the culture.
for sure. So, man, I'll let you kind of get into it. I think we're going to talk about some of our highlights of the year first. Go into
Yeah,
what we think was dope. I've certainly got a list put together, but I'll let you kick it off with maybe like the first artist, first album, whatever, whichever one you want
for
to talk
sure.
about first.
I think anyone that knows me knows who I'm starting with. The greatest of all time himself, Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, Eminem, came out of
Yeah,
nowhere yet again. Did the same thing a couple years ago, um, with his previous album, but Music to Be Murdered By. Can't say I saw it coming. Not gonna lie,
crazy.
I'm not good at
January
like
release.
predicting stuff. Yeah. So that was cool, and some really cool features on it. A Young Ma was I think on the second track of the album, right? Let me pull it up real
Yeah,
quick.
unaccommodating was
Yeah, and
the
that was
track.
cool because it's hard to imagine uh Eminem and Young Ma linking up. I feel like, I mean,
Really didn't see that coming at all.
no, I didn't. And it's not they're not total opposites, but they're not really in the same kind of category either in terms of like the kind of
Mm.
music they make. But they do both come from like, some tough backgrounds, cool cities. That's pretty much
And
every
she's got
rap
bars.
artist. Yeah, no, she's definitely talented. I can't say I've always been a fan, because when she had her big hit, I was like not a
Yeah.
fan.
Ooh. Yeah.
But then I heard some more of her other music, and I'm like, no, she's really good. And her last album, her story,
Yeah. Her story.
loved it. I put that in my top 10, I think, of 2019. I think that was last year. Yeah. So anyway,
Right.
overall, I thought the album was like pretty good. I wasn't like crazy about it. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was like a solid Eminem album. I think
Did you
it's
have a
just him.
standout track or anything like that you really loved?
You Gonna Learn, I was a big fan of. Premonition, the intro, I think everyone agrees that intro was
Premonition was
hard.
killer.
Yeah. It was insane. So Premonition, huge fan of that intro, just him laying down his thoughts, and even when he's very deliberate about his message, his technicality and his rhyme schemes is still unbelievable. Usually
Yeah.
an artist can only do one or the other, but he's got them both, as always. So love the intro, loved You Gonna Learn, Royce to 5'9", and
I feel like
I
you're
feel like we. What's up?
I feel like you're missing the one track that everyone freaked out about, and that's Godzilla. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe you
Godzilla.
haven't brought that up.
I mean, I always try to avoid the super like big hit, mainstream, big single kind of stuff. I've never enjoyed,
Yeah.
honestly, especially Eminem. I've never enjoyed his big singles. I never liked Crack a Bottle. I didn't really like The Real Slim Shady or Not Afraid compared to the other stuff on the album. So I think everyone already knows how crazy Godzilla was in terms
Yeah.
of him. He pulled another rap god basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just cool. Like if you watch the music video, he like
The
dedicated it
Cole
to
Bennett,
Juice
yeah.
World. It was
So
Cole
cool. I
Bennett.
think more than anything, with Eminem, right? I wasn't don't get me wrong, I respect him as a, if not the best rap artist, pure rap artist. I respect him to put him in the top 10 of all time. You know what I mean? At least for my
Right.
personal.
Yeah.
But one thing I've really admired about him over his past two releases is his ability to recognize the state of rap as it is right now. Whereas like a guy like Wayne has
To
gone on
comment on it,
record,
yeah.
Wayne has gone on record multiple times saying they'll bring up 21 Savage or he was quoted in an interview saying he doesn't know who 21 Savage is. Lil Wayne.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And here you
And
have
they call
M.
Em a hermit.
Yeah, exactly. And here you have M. He's working with Cole Bennett. He's collaborating with Young M.A., Juice World, Anderson .Paak. Like, I don't know. I thought that was wicked cool. And
Yeah.
just to go on record, my favorite track from this album was Marsh. I've told you that before. That track was really good. I love the ad-libs and everything.
He gets creative with that kind of stuff. He's definitely got his niche. I was gonna bring up Stepdad as one other track to bring up because I just love the hook on that one. And it's like I usually don't like when he mixes with guitars because like some of his best songs have guitars going back to his earlier albums, but I think on Revival, which we all agree is like his weakest album, he just went overboard with the guitar stuff and the beats. But I thought Stepdad was a song where it actually came through and it worked nicely for him. Yeah.
So.
Anyway, moving on. I was gonna bring up "Shake the Snow Globe" by Russ.
Nice.
I love this. I love listening to Russ's interviews. I think he's a really interesting guy to say the least, right? And everyone knows him for his personality, his braggadocious manner, him being cocky and whatever. But he really is like, I think he should be inspiring to all of us. Like, I don't think a lot of people have enough drive when it comes to like their passion, and this guy's like pedal
what
to
do
the
you think
metal
of this album compared to his other albums?
So I think it would be really hard to follow up on his last album. I loved Zoo. That was like, I think I named that my favorite album of 2018, right?
2018? Is that what it was?
I loved that album. It was so good. And it just had like a particular vibe. This one was a different approach, I want to say. And I think it had less of the rap kind of stuff in it, which obviously I'm not a fan of, is when you kind of drift off from the rap type stuff.
Yeah.
It had more of an R&B feel to it, so that I didn't dig. But the songs on the album that were good, I only saved 3. You know, we often talk about what we actually save on the album. I only saved 3, but those 3 I thought were phenomenal, and it was all 3 singles, which is a shame, but it's also a good thing. If it's gonna be any of them, it would be the singles. So I'd be Guess What, Civil War, and Best on Earth. Quick point on Best on Earth. The featured artist Bia or BIA, she's from Boston, so.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was from Boston. The tough part about this album for me is that, and I know they're only listed as bonus tracks, but I don't know, just the fact that he labeled those 2 tracks, Civil War and Best on Earth, he labeled them as bonus tracks as if they weren't part of the cohesive album. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, right? It's like, no, I remember, because I remember buying CDs. I'm actually from an era, I had iTunes, obviously, but I also bought CDs from my first like artist that I was into. And the bonus tracks were like, you never heard them. You'd never hear them in the mainstream ever. You'd get to the bonus track, you're like, I didn't know this existed.
Yeah. So,
but this is like, those are singles. You're right.
Yeah. If I'm judging the album by itself, the 2 tracks that I liked were Guess What and Mama. But I mean, I felt like they were kind of the same song in a sense. You know what I mean? Just bragging about like where you were and where you are now. And like I give,
Yeah,
like
but
I
that's
said,
what he's
like
so
you said,
good
I
at,
give him all the props in the world, but not
for
my
sure.
favorite album. I feel like he has another lane to step in. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
he's he's carved out this
I mean,
lane
you know
pretty
Russ. If we
well.
know, I don't know if people know Russ, but he's one of the things he's most known for is churning out music on SoundCloud. That's how he came up. Like,
Yeah,
SoundCloud rapper has like kind of a negative connotation, but dude, he was putting out one song a week for like something like 10 years or something crazy like that. He has like 10 mixtapes, and he's just a symbol of it, just grinding out and like hustling in the
something
music
stupid.
industry and
Yeah,
making it from the ground up, independent artist. um and so to see him, actually straight, like, undeniably mainstream now, having Best on Earth get played by Rihanna and posted on her story, that was crazy. He couldn't
yeah,
believe that himself. I could never imagine having my song played by Rihanna. So um and then
that's
guess
insane.
what, featuring Rick Ross, just to wrap up, for a while that was my favorite song of 2020. Just guess what.
Really?
Yeah, man, that song. It just,
Wow.
his flow on it above all, more than anything else. His
Yeah, he
flow and
definitely
his
spits
rhymes
bars
and his
on it.
verse. Yeah, you got to listen to it, man. If you haven't heard it yet, everybody
No, oh yeah,
check it
yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah, definitely.
We got an audience. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I know. What do
So
we got
next
next?
one I definitely wanted to mention was someone whose name's gotten around a lot, gotten good coverage. Roddy Ricch. Um, Roddy's The Box single, I think, is one of those things that has reached non-hip hop fans. Like, dude, one of
Yeah.
my friends, like, that doesn't listen to rap, like, made a meme out of it, and I'm like, oh, this thing is real. This thing got real big. It
Everyone
became a
freaking does
meme.
that.
It's the best thing you want for your song is to become a meme. That's like shoot through the roof yourself.
I don't know how it blew up. I really don't. I I can't say I understand the hype. Even I don't know. I just can't get with it completely. If it comes on, I'll listen to it, but I don't know. It just doesn't get me hyped or anything. Doesn't make me
That's
feel
crazy.
anything.
It's
I
weird how
don't know
music
why.
works like that. I don't know. I couldn't tell
It
you
gets you
exactly
hyped.
why I love
What's
it either.
what's what's the appeal of the song?
I feel like it's his delivery above all. With when it comes to Roddy Ricch, I feel like, especially if you watch his interviews, he's a pretty secluded guy, as you can imagine by his song title. Like, the whole where he talks about his song title, he's saying like, I just want people to know I'm not like an asshole or anything. If I don't talk to you, it's just because I just don't talk to people. That's just how he is. He's kind of like withdrawn, kind of. He's kind of like in his head or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then you hear him on the record and it's totally different. And I think a lot of really great artists are like that. They say like Logic's definitely like that. He talks about actually I was just watching Logic on Mike Tyson's Hotboxing podcast. Super
Oh, cool.
cool interview. And they brought up an interview of Logic from like 2011 or something like that. I forget. And it was when he was talking about how he never goes outside. He goes like, yeah, never. I literally never leave my house. He's just like always in the basement. This whole like antisocial genius kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can get some really really cool music out of people like that just are just totally focused on what they're doing. Um, so in terms of the album, yeah, it's not my kind of like subgenre of hip hop, I want to say.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Is
loved The Box, I loved PETA, I loved Tiptoe, and I loved Ballin', which I don't know if it's something. What were you gonna
so
say?
are you gonna? Would you say you're a fan at this point, or is he on your watch list?
I'd say he's on my watch list. I couldn't call myself a fan, because there are only like 5 songs by him max that I'm really like playing. I keep going back to The Box and Ballin' and PETA.
Yeah.
Um, but we're only one album deep that I've heard by him, although it looks like he's got
Okay.
a couple more on Spotify. So
Okay.
he's got
Cool.
promise. He's young, right? Straight out of Compton, this kid.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Much respect. Good album.
I'm. Yeah.
Looking forward to what he does.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next album.
So I definitely wanted to hit Russ, Guess What? Because that was one of my favorite songs. I wanted to hit The
Yeah.
Box / Ballin', 2 great songs by Roddy Ricch. And then there were two more songs I really loved that came out this year. One of them was by Jarren Benton, and it's Holy Water. That, man, I don't even know if I could talk about that song. It's just an
Did you
emotion.
too hype?
It got me too hyped. I think I told you the story, man. I had that.
Dude,
I think I had my release radar. You know, on Spotify, you got release radar. I set that up, and it and so I didn't know what was going to be next on it. That's the cool thing about release radar. You know what to expect, but it's usually artists that you follow, you're really into.
Yeah.
And I heard the intro of the song, and like within like 5-10 seconds, I'm like, this is gonna be. You ever listen to a song like that?
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is gonna be a banger. It's gonna go crazy, man. And I remember like 15 seconds in, I'm like, I'm saving this one. This song is so good. And then like 20 or 30 seconds in, I'm like, oh my God, it's Jarren Benton. He's back at it, baby. I was so hyped, man. I was so hyped.
It was cool.
I just can't I
any
can't
word on
describe
an
how.
album? Do you follow his social or anything like that?
I haven't heard anything, no. I haven't looked into it either, but he usually puts out, he's pretty consistent with his releases. Sometimes he only drops EPs, but I feel like we could expect an album from him this year. I don't think that's out of the question. Especially now. He's been indoors for 2-3 weeks now. I think we can be sure. A lot of albums coming out this season.
Oh yeah. Or being made this season.
Yeah, exactly. And then a couple more points I wanted to hit. 25-8 by Bad Bunny. That was another like top 5 song of the year for me.
Let me see if I saved that one. I told you. Did I tell you I finished his album, Bad Bunny?
No, you didn't. I was begging for you to listen to that thing for so long. Yo hago lo que me da la gana. Bad Bunny. Maybe. The title is a bunch of letters. It's YHLQMDLG, standing for Yo hago lo que me da la gana. And this is a rap podcast, but this is a trap, like Latin trap album. And I feel like he's reached a point in like superstardom and mainstream appeal that all the rap podcasts, all the rap channels are talking about him because he's just so big. It's undeniable at this point. And I've always been a big fan. I've always been impressed by how famous he got before he even dropped a single album. Just he's another SoundCloud artist. And he just had so many hit singles. And his first album, I think we talked about this. It was good, but I didn't love it. I saved like 5 songs off of it, and they were all like on par with. I wouldn't say better than his previous like hit singles. Then he had his collab with J Balvin, which was good, but only 2 songs I thought were really, really good off of that. Yeah. But dude, this album, I don't think there are any more. I don't think there are many more albums that I've been going back to consistently.
How many songs did you save?
Legit half the album, dude. I saved like 10 songs. Dude, I saved the whole second half of the album.
My favorite songs were 25-8 and Está Cabrón Ser Yo.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
With Anuel AA. Dude, Anuel AA. Dude, what's that ad lib that he does at the beginning of the song? It's like grrr, or something like that.
Yeah. He always does that.
Dude, when I hear that, I love that. So good. So good.
Yo, I've been listening to some French rap lately, actually, and they get pretty good with their ad libs too. I mean, if you, I feel like that's why the genre like transcends all these borders. It goes across the world because it's just like the vibe. You know, I guess you could say that about any music, but especially with hip hop, you get a solid beat and some good ad libs. Man, who's not gonna love it? You know.
Exactly. But yeah, I think Bad Bunny certainly cemented himself right now as like a key player.
And this was just such a much better crafted album. I thought the intro was like perfect for an intro. It wouldn't fit anywhere else on the album. The outro wouldn't fit anywhere else on the album. The second to last song, Hablamos Mañana, it went in, I don't know if you remember, went into like the guitar riff. I was blown away, man. I was blown away. I felt like I was at a concert. It just started like a normal like Bad Bunny song, and then it went into the whole like metal rock sound, and then it went into the classic reflective outro take, which I feel like a lot more artists have been doing lately, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like Joyner, but we'll get into that soon.
Cool.
But yeah, I just to wrap up, maybe one more project that I thought was really good that's come out this year. Denzel Curry. I thought that was a solid
And Kenny
release.
Beats.
Kenny Beats, yeah.
Whoa, Kenny.
Whoa, Kenny.
Whoa, Kenny.
Kenny. Or when he
Rico
collabs
Nasty.
with Rico Nasty, yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched the whole video that they posted on YouTube for it. What is it, like 20, 25 minutes long?
The bunch of
Super
cartoons
cool
and stuff
animation, man. I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be like that high production. Dude's got money though.
Oh yeah.
If I felt like I was watching a Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse or whatever again, just with all the animation styles.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely two big highlights on that album were Diet, the fifth track Diet, and then the outro Cosmic. Really cool. And I just love the cacophony of sounds that you get from Kenny Beats. And it just
Without a
complements
doubt.
so well. Like they post all their videos on YouTube of them collabing, which I think is so dope. And you can see there's such a genuine chemistry between the two because there's just like a perfect sync between Denzel's super aggressive delivery, aggressive on point, on beat delivery, and then Kenny Beats making these weird sounds. Like I feel like, do you know if Kenny's I want to say he has, but do you know if he's collabed with Ski Mask, the Slump God?
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah, we should look into that because I feel like that would be a really cool pairing. Because Ski's known for
Ski's been
doing those
quiet,
really cool.
Though.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Literally haven't heard anything from that guy.
Hey man, he went through a big loss with Juice passing, along with X. I mean,
and
I don't think him or Denzel have really moved on from that yet. Yeah, but anyway, those were like my main points. We can talk a bit more about music after that, but time for you to jump in.